Given the rapid pace of change in technology and science, it can be easy to forget what we didn't know just a few short years ago. The past decade has seen breakthroughs in physics, biology, and astronomy, to name just a few. Which of these discoveries are the most important is probably for historians to judge, but some of the consequences of the discoveries early in the decade are beginning to reverberate. Number 1 puts us much closer to understanding not only the Earth, not even our own solar system, but rather the entire universe itself. Curious, stay tuned to find out more. Here are 10 recent scientific discoveries. Let's start from the number 10. Solving the 2019 Betelgeuse mystery. Mystery Betelgeuse is usually among the brightest stars in the sky, but in December of 2019, its intense winkle mysteriously dimmed. The dramatic change had scientists asking questions. Perhaps Betelgeuse was at the end of its life and could explode in a supernova. This supernova could have been brighter than the full moon, and if that's the case, we are in for one heck of a sight. Recent observations of Betelgeuse have revealed that the star's unexpected and significant dimming periods in late 2019 and early 2020 were most likely caused by the ejection and cooling of dense hot gases, and that the star may be going through another dimming period more than a year early. Between October and November 2019, Hubble Space Telescope observed dense, heated material moving outward through the star's extended atmosphere at 200,000 miles per hour. The following month, several ground-based telescopes observed a decrease in brightness in Betelgeuse's southern hemisphere, as if something was blocking light in this region of the star. By February 2020, the star had lost more than two-thirds of its brilliance, a dimming visible even to the naked eye, creating a buzz that the star might be going supernova. Number 9. 75-million-year-old fossil. The Jurassic Park dream has moved one tiny step closer to reality, as long as that reality involves a theme park filled exclusively with duck-billed dinosaurs. Researchers say they found evidence of preserved cartilage cells, chromosomes, and DNA in a 75-million-year-old fossil that once belonged to a baby dinosaur. Scientists have long thought that DNA couldn't survive longer than 1 million years. But the new discovery challenges that notion and could unlock the possibility of finding more dinosaur DNA in the future. These new exciting results add to growing evidence that cells and some of their biomolecules can persist in deep time, said Dr. Alida Balliol, a paleontologist at the Chinese Academy of Sciences and lead author of the findings. It's still unclear whether scientists could actually sequence the alleged DNA sample, as it's never been done for anything older than 700,000 years. They also can't get dinosaur DNA from mosquitoes in amber, contrary to what the movies might tell you. That means scientists are still a far cry from many people's childhood fantasy of cloning a real-life dinosaur, a la Jurassic Park. But one can dream, right? Number 8. The Mars hum. There's a lot of scientists don't know about Mars, the little red planet next door. Now, new reports are suggesting that Mars is a lot more active than you might think. A NASA mission recorded quakes on Mars for the first time, along with another interesting surprise. In November 2018, NASA's InSight lander touched down on Mars after a 205-day journey. Outfitted with an array of equipment to measure Mars' vital signs, the spacecraft's landing marked the beginning of the first mission exploring Mars' deep interior. It's taken some time, but NASA published its first findings from the mission in the journals Nature Geoscience and Nature Communications. The papers only capture the first 10 months, but in that time, InSight made an interesting discovery: Mars is shaking. The spacecraft picked up on 174 quakes that were reported in the studies. To start, Mars doesn't have tectonic plates like Earth. Shifting tectonic plates can trigger earthquakes here, but in Mars, these quakes occur because of long-term cooling of the planet and other processes. If the quakes weren't cool enough, InSight picked up something else: humming. Yep, Mars is singing to itself, with InSight picking up the signal in the background of its quakes. It's similar to a mysterious hum on Earth traced back to an underwater volcano, but nobody is quite sure yet why Mars is humming. Number 7. The first man in the Americas. Stone objects recovered from deep inside the Chicago cave in Mexico hint that humans may have arrived in the Americas as early as 30,000 years ago. roughly twice the age of most current arrival estimates. This date is highly debated among archaeologists, with many initially placed in the first human presence in the Americas around 13,500 years ago as ice sheets receded and migration routes from Asia opened up. But recent evidence has pushed the date of human arrival back by thousands of years. The new analysis of stone artifacts, including blades, projectile points, and rock flakes interspersed with bits of charcoal, date to some 30,000 years old and suggest humans likely arrived in the Americas before glaciers began to melt. Studying the cave suggests it could have been hospitable tens of thousands of years ago, as the region was likely much cooler, wetter, and greener than it is today. No human remains have yet been found, and the new study is stirring controversy among scientists now. Number 6. Tyrannosaur babies. The first known fossils of baby tyrannosaurs reveal that some of the largest predators ever to stalk the Earth started life about the size of a chihuahua with a really long tail. The fossils, a foot claw and a lower jaw, are from tyrannosaurs still in the embryonic stage, when the developing dinosaurs would have been snugly wrapped up in their eggs. Found at different fossil sites in western North America, both date to about 71 to 75 million years ago, when tyrannosaurs had just become the apex predators of their environments. The itty-bitty claw was uncovered at a site in the Horseshoe Canyon Formation in 2018, within First Nation lands in Alberta. The jaw was also found on indigenous land, in the Two Medicine Formation of Montana in 1983. They were described last week by University of Edinburgh paleontologist Gregory Funston at the virtually held annual meeting of the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology. The new fossils reveal Tyrannosaur babies were tiny compared to the adults, only about a tenth as long as grown tyrannosaurs. By contrast, a baby African elephant is about a fourth the height of the adults. The jaw came from a tyrannosaur that was about 2.5 feet long, and the toe claw belonged to an animal a little over 3 feet long. Number 5. The end of an outbreak. On June 25, the World Health Organization declared the end of the second-largest Ebola outbreak, which infected more than 3,480 and killed nearly 2,300. Known simply as the Kivu outbreak, the event began in August 2018 with a cluster of cases near Kivu in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. Ebola is a hemorrhagic fever marked by a host of symptoms including bleeding, fever, stomach pain, weakness, and rashes, and is spread through direct contact with an infected person or animal blood or bodily fluids containing the disease. Particularly difficult due to local unrest, which led to suspicions about any government or international organization efforts to curb the disease's spread. However, armed with new vaccine, healthcare workers led by Michael Yao of the WHO launched a campaign to vaccinate anyone who may have been exposed. By also improving community engagement, this ever led to the vaccination of more than 300,000 people. Yeah, this doesn't do anything to improve our current outbreak with this global pandemic and all, but if there's one thing 2020 has taught us, is that to celebrate all kinds of victories, whether it affects you directly or not. Number 4. Coral reef taller than Eiffel Tower. Australian scientists found a detached coral reef on the Great Barrier Reef that exceeds the height of the Empire State Building and the Eiffel Tower, the Schmidt Ocean Institute said this week, the first such discovery in over 100 years. The blade-like reef is nearly 500 meters tall and 1.5 kilometers wide, said the institute. It lies 40 meters below the ocean surface and about 6 kilometers from the edge of the Great Barrier Reef. A team of scientists from James Cook University, led by Dr. Robin Beeman, were mapping the northern seafloor of the Great Barrier Reef on board the Institute's research vessel Falker when they found the reef on October 20th. "We are surprised and elated by what we have found," said Beeman. He said it was the first detached reef of that size to be discovered in over 120 years, and that it was thriving with a blizzard of fish in a healthy ecosystem. The discovery comes after a study earlier this month found the Great Barrier Reef had lost more than half its coral in the last 3 decades. Using the underwater robot known as Sebastian, the scientists filmed their exploration of the new reef, collecting marine samples on the way, which will be archived and placed in the Queensland Museum and the Museum of Tropical Queensland. Number 3. The oldest Homo erectus. In terms of species survival, Homo erectus is a huge success story. Fossil evidence for H. erectus stretches over more than 1.5 million years, making it by far the longest surviving of all our human relatives. Compare this to our own species, Homo sapiens, which has been around for perhaps 400,000 years so far, and we begin to appreciate their ability to survive over a long period marked by many changes to the environment and climate. H. erectus was also the most geographically widespread species apart from H. sapiens. H. erectus appeared in Africa about 2 million years ago, evolving from either a late form of Australopith or one of the more primitive forms of Homo, and went on to spread into many parts of Asia. Scientists disagree over how H. erectus and H. sapiens relate to each other, but most agree that H. erectus can be called an ancestor of modern humans. Now, this is the time for our best pick. It's not about the Earth but still on the Earth. Let's talk about it in number 2. The world's second largest meteorite. A 30,800 kilogram meteorite has been unearthed in Argentina, and experts have declared it to be one of the largest meteorites ever found on Earth. The discovery, made on the border of Chaco, about 1,078 kilometers northwest of Buenos Aires, has been attributed to a meteor shower that hit the region more than 4,000 years ago. Weighing in at more than 30 tons, the find has been controversially named the second largest meteorite on Earth, but until further tests are completed, it's too soon to give away that title just yet. The undisputed king of Earth-based meteorites is a 66-ton whopper called Hubble, excavated in Namibia nearly a century ago. While the Hubble meteorite has been fully uncovered from its resting place in the Atjozanjupa region of Namibia, due to its size, it has never been removed. It's thought to have slammed into Earth some 80,000 years ago, and its age has been estimated to be between 190 million and 410 million years. The rival contender for the second spot is El Chaco, a 37-ton meteorite discovered in the same Argentinian field as this new find. Before moving to the next number, we just want a small favor from you. Our team is working hard and we love to see your reaction on our videos. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon to get notification of our upcoming videos. Number 1. Older than our solar system. In pieces of a meteorite, scientists have found tiny mineral grains that are older than the Sun and the solar system, which formed about 4.6 billion years ago. Some of these pre-solar grains, the researchers found, are between 5 billion and 7 billion years old, making them the oldest known materials on Earth. The grains initially formed in interstellar space out of material ejected from mature stars that then condensed into dust. The researchers who identified the grains think many of them likely were created following a boom in star formation the Milky Way experienced some 7 billion years ago. If confirmed, the new finding demonstrates that researchers can study meteorites to better understand the history of star formation in our galaxy. When small to medium stars approach the ends of their lives, they expand into red giant stars and blow off their outer layers. This results in beautiful, expanding clouds of material that astronomers call planetary nebulae. Over time, the material in these planetary nebulae cools and condenses into grains of dust and minerals. Some of these grains are then incorporated into clumps of interstellar gas, helping form new generations of stars, planets, asteroids, and so on. Any pre-solar grains that were present when Earth first formed are now long gone, changed by our planet's geologic processes, including in volcanoes and through plate tectonics. But meteorites that fall to Earth from space rocks preserve these cosmic time capsules. Ever since researchers began finding pre-solar grains in meteorites in 1987, they've studied these ancient relics to find out how old they are and where they came from. Watching till the end. You can also watch some more amazing videos here.